How are you?
Steve? Yeah, good, thank you. Hi guys. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Hi.
Hi guys, I am delighted to introduce our new head coach, Thomas Frank. We will start with the broadcast section with no embargo, followed by an embargoed section for 10:30 PM tonight. No live tweeting during the broadcast section, please, and use the microphone provided. But first, Thomas.
Yeah, just first one thing from me, and on the behalf of everyone from Tottenham Football Club, our condolences goes to the families and the loved ones of Diego Jota and Andre Silva, and everyone at Liverpool. So just want to make that statement first.
Gary, from the start off.
Well, funny to see you here.
Different surroundings, yeah.
It's 5 weeks now since we heard that you were taking the job. I'm sure you didn't start work straight away here at the training ground, but at the time you've been here, now met most of the players and worked with them as well. Is it what you expected? Bigger job than you thought, or an easier job than you thought?
It's the easy part now, huh? It's the honeymoon. Everyone is happy. The sun is shining. We haven't played a game yet, but it's super exciting. It's a massive club, a huge club in England and in the world. I'm super excited myself about it. Everyone have been kind and friendly, open-minded. So, yeah, it feels good, and the best thing is it feels natural. Why not? That's what I've done. I don't know for how many years. It's football. It's good players. It's preparing them with a good staff and make sure we are ready to hit the ground running.
It's a big club. You're a big manager, successful manager. So everything we try and keep positive. But maybe this question's a little bit negative. Obviously, in the time you were at Brentford, Tottenham sacked 5 head coaches, managers.
Only 5. Only 5, okay.
One after getting to a Champions League final, one after getting to a domestic cup final, one after getting into the top 4, one after winning a European trophy. Did that worry you at all when you were considering coming here?
I like to challenge myself. I've been that privileged. I've never been sacked before, so that's one of the reasons why I took the job. So I could get a little bit more risk into my daily life. Coming to a big club, there's pressures. There's we need to perform because it is we. It's me, it's the staff, it's the players, it's everyone, and we need to do that together. So no, I like the ambitions, and I'm everything I do, every decision I made so far, everything is for the long term. It's not about surviving one game or 1 year or 18 months or what is the average. No, it's for the long run.
Obviously, there's going to be a squad that's going to be adjusted slightly based on what you're hoping to get, departures and arrivals. I just wondered if I could ask what your take is on the Morgan Gibbs-White situation. There's been a lot of noise from Nottingham Forest, nothing much from Tottenham. What's your take on that situation?
You know me well, so I'll use what I've done all the time. I'll not speak about players that is not mine. I think I'm doing 2 exceptions, and they're getting older. Is Ronaldo and Messi. The rest, I'll just speak about the players who's inside and in the squad of Tottenham.
Charlotte, please.
Thomas, firstly, congratulations on your new role here
Thank
at
you.
Spurs. When Ange Postecoglou left the club, there was an outpouring of emotion and a lot of farewell messages from the players. How have you found the mood within the camp since the players returned, and what has your main message been to the players so far?
First and foremost, I think I've said that before. I think Ange will forever be a legend here at Tottenham. He's one of 3. There's won a European trophy, and this is the first one in 41 years. So unbelievable, fantastic, great achievement. I see happy players, positive, smiling, energy, training well. So yeah, good vibe around the place. There should be a good vibe. They just won the Europa League title, going into a new season, everything exciting, and in football and in sport, it's about dreaming and hoping. So that's what we do.
Absolutely. You've got a number of friendlies this summer, starting off with Reading tomorrow. How important is having a good pre-season for you personally, just because you've come into the club?
I think good pre-season is very good, but that's I think that's That's a few things. So one thing, we need to hit the physical targets. So we need to make sure they are very fit. We need to make them strong and robust, so we can go through a long season, hopefully competing in 4 tournaments. That's the plan. So that's the biggest thing. Then the second biggest thing is getting the principles I want into the players, and you train to get better. And the friendlies, you use them to get better. Of course, we like to win them, and it will always be nice to win. I can't remember how many games it is, but I know the next one is Reading tomorrow. That's the most important one. So that's the purpose of the preseason. And touch wood, have everyone available for the Super Cup, the 13th of August.
And Spurs have signed Mohamed Kudus. What do you feel he brings and will bring to your squad?
I think it's a great signing from the club. I think it's top work from Daniel and Vinna and Johan, getting a very good player in early in the preseason, so we can start working with him. I think he gives us a bit of that unpredictability in the game. I think his 1v1 actions are top. I think his slide passes are top. I think his finishing is very good, and he is in almost a perfect age to perform, but also take the next level.
Hi Thomas. Because Tottenham won the Europa League last season after a long wait, does that change what is expected from you at your first season? Is the challenges higher than previously known?
I don't know. I think it was extremely positive they won. That gave them that fantastic trophy this club deserve, and they need it. My aim is that we can hopefully add to that. The first thing and the first aim is that we need to be able to compete in all 4 tournaments and do it on a consistent level. That's gotta be the ambition we build towards, because I think 2019 Champions League final. I think that's the last season where the club managed to compete in more than one competition, and that's got to be the aim. We need to be able to compete in the Premier League, and need to compete in Europe and also in the cups, and that is a very highly demand, but that's got to be the aim. And if you compete, there's maybe a chance that you hopefully can end top, but we need to be able to build to compete first.
Previously with Brentford, you took them to the Premier League, and everybody understand that you maximize their potential in the Premier League. How excited are you with the resources you will have at Spurs, and where you can take them?
Super excited. I think there's a fantastic training ground, fantastic stadium, so all the facilities are top, and we just need to build from there. I think it's a very exciting squad, with a good mix between some experience and some very talented players, but also players that are in a good age but that can take the next step. And yeah, super excited about my biggest how can I say task is to maximize the potential in the players on the team. If you maximize that, it gives you a better opportunity for competing, and if you can compete, you can hopefully win some. So it's my job to maximize things.
Thomas,
Hi.
Daniel Starver from Viaplay Denmark. Sorry, I'll do the question in English so everyone can follow. I don't think you've trained everyone to understand the Danish.
Not yet, but it will come.
With previous managers like Antonio Conte, Mauricio Pochettino, Jose Mourinho, how did Thomas Frank from Little Denmark end up in Spurs?
Very good question. I think you need to ask the guys who hired me. But of course, it's big names, and I'm very proud to sit in this chair and be part of the next chapter in Tottenham's history. And I'll do everything, and every day I'll work towards hopefully take this club to new heights. That's the ambition. If I was not ambitious, I would not sit here. So yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to it.
Thomas, can I ask you a question about the wrench of leaving a football club where your legacy was so vast and so rich, to take a job that many would view perhaps as more of a risk?
And so the question is, what? Sorry, why?
Your decision-making process as to leaving a club where you're.
In a way, it was very difficult. In a way, it was very easy. It was very difficult because I'm a person that go all in when I'm in every relationship, work, friendship, marriage, whatever it is, go all in. And when you go all in, let's say in work on a football club, you get attached. And I had a fantastic time at Brentford with fantastic people, from staff, players, fans, everything. Really, really loved my time there. But I also felt that maybe it was time to challenge myself and get another opportunity. And then when a club of Tottenham's magnitude are knocking on your door, I would like you to be in front of it and be part of hopefully a successful journey. Then I couldn't turn it down.
And I know you don't want to answer any questions or be asked any questions about players who aren't in the building. If I can ask you a question about two players who are, there's been some speculation regarding your captain and your vice captain, Heung-min Son and Christian Romero. Can I perhaps get your reflections on those two players and whether you're banking on them for next season?
Two top players. Sonny, been here 10 years, finally got his well-deserved trophy in the summer. So important for the team and the club. Christian Romero, World Cup winner, Europa League winner, Copa America winner. Very, very important for us as well. Both have trained well, setting the standards out there on the training pitch, and both will play tomorrow. So I'm very happy.
Hi Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just wanted to ask, during your time at Brentford, the team was very adaptable, you had different players. Have you got a specific idea of the style of play that you want to play here at Spurs?
Yeah, I'm very, very clear in all the principles I have in, every phase of the game. What I will like to see from the team and the players is I want us to be brave, I want us to be very aggressive, and I want to attack. And I think brave is absolutely linked in dare to do, to dares to do. And if you're not brave, it's very, very difficult to achieve anything. And I think it's very important that we take risk, because if you don't take risk, you also take risk. So that brave to dare to do, I think, is crucial. I think the aggressivity, that's difficult. Crucial also if you want to win something or achieve something, because you're not aggressive in duels. On off the ball is difficult. It's a very competitive game, and of course need to attack.
Can I just ask you about your history with Johan Langer and your working relationship now that you're back together at Spurs?
First, Johan have been done very well, going first to Villa as the technical director, and now coming to coming to Tottenham. I know him from back then in Denmark. In Denmark, it's a small country, so you know each other if you've been, growing up through the system. So no, he's a very good guy.
Then the last one from me, there was an image going around earlier this week of long throw-in auditions. I wanted to know who was successful in the long throw-in auditions.
Let's see. I would say I believe that not only maximizing the players' potential and team's potential, we need to do what we can to make sure we have enough threats from everywhere on the pitch, and that's one area, set pieces.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you.
When you took over from Dean Smith at Brentford, it was very much under the radar, not many people knew who you were. Now you're not under the radar, everybody knows who you are. What pressure does that put on you on day one of the season as Spurs manager?
I don't know. I think it's a natural. It's a good pressure. The interesting thing is, it's not when you are in it. It's something I've done for many years. I'm very aware there's a big club. There is more, and there will be more scrutiny because, as I said to the staff the first day here when we had a meeting here with all the staff in here, I promise you one thing. One thing is 100% sure: we will lose football matches. I haven't seen a team that are not losing any football matches. There is Arsenal that we can't mention in the Premier League. So I made my first rookie mistake there. And there was at Preston back in that they did. Those I think the only two teams in a Premier League season. Then they probably lost in the cup, and they probably lost all the games. So that will happen, of course. So that will be a natural pressure, but the daily work is natural, and I think the biggest pressure is the pressure I would put on myself.
You said you want your style of play to be aggressive, attacking. How do you do that without losing 22 Premier League football matches in a season?
That should be, I think, I said brave first. Brave is on the ball, but also off the ball, how we defend. Let's say in high pressure, for example. But also said aggressive and also attacking. And those are the three good buzzwords that I will continue. I'm quite consistent in my messages saying. But I also started saying, I think it was Jay who asked me about what's the style of play. I have principles for all the phases. That means also when we defend low, when we defend middle, and when we defend high, and how we defend the box. So I think that's quite important. We do that. If we want to win enough football matches, we need to be a well-rounded team.
And finally, you mentioned this is still your honeymoon period. You had a good marriage at Brentford with Matthew Benham and Cliff Crown and everybody else. How's your marriage going to work out with Daniel Levy?
Marriage is a strong wording, I would say. I think I'll go that far. I'm only married to my wife, Nana. But I had a fantastic relationship, there's no doubt about that, with Phil Giles and Matthew Benham, John Varney and Lee Dykes. And I'm expecting and will work on getting as good a relationship to Daniel, Vinay, and Johan. I think I'm pretty good with people, so I'm very optimistic about that.
Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you.
There's a few players maybe at the club that you potentially tried to sign in the past yourself at Brentford, maybe Archie Gray perhaps, Brennan Johnson, players like that. How good is it to have them now within your squad, and any others that you've looked at in the past at Spurs and wished you'd had?
Definitely good to see Archie Gray and Brennan. I think it was a secret. It's not a secret. You guys apparently know everything. I still haven't figured out how you get all that information. But of course, when you come to Tottenham, no one find out anything, right? It's like top secret here. Everything will slip out. Nothing will slip out. No. So it's good to work with them. They're two fantastic footballers and two good people. I think the rest, on top of my head, I think there was not possible for Brentford.
Just go back to Sonny and Christian Romero. Have you had conversations with them yet about their future? Because obviously Sonny's only got 12 months left in his contract.
My expectation is that all the players are here, and they're training well. That's what I'm focusing on, and they again very impressed by them. They set the standards and they train hard. So. And as I said, they're playing tomorrow. I think that's a good indicator that they are here at the club.
We've got a few players coming back from serious injuries. James Maddison, Kulusevski, Dragishin. Any idea when we'll see them involved?
Yeah, Maddison is the closest one. He is part training with the team, so that's very positive. Obviously, a key player. Dragishin and Kulusevski is a little bit further behind. James.
Hi Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just on Son, have you decided who your captain will be yet? Will he still be captain?
Good question. I haven't decided anything on that. I think I have a long list of bullet points I need to get through, so I take him in the right order. But he was the captain last year, and when we play 245s tomorrow, Son and Romeo will be the two captains for each team. So, but I haven't made a final decision.
Will that be your decision, or will you let the players vote?
That'll be my decision.
And you mentioned earlier the challenge for Spurs is competing on 4 fronts. I mean, how hard is that going to be when you look once again at the money that Liverpool are spending, City spending, Chelsea, Arsenal? I mean, how tough is that challenge?
That's of course tough. I think it's fair to say those 3 clubs are a tiny bit ahead right now, and actually I'm not focusing too much on them. I'm focusing on us and what we can do. And I think, can we get closer and competing in all situations? I think is a good first step. And how close is that? I'll not answer that, because I think let's play some games and then talk about it then. So I think we have a good squad. I'm pretty sure we can build something very strong over the next years. They get closer.
And you said earlier that you're making decisions here for the long term. But I mean, are you confident, given the turnover of managers here, that you are going to get the time for those decisions to pay off?
Yes. If I wasn't that, then I shouldn't take the job. And I had very good conversations with Daniel and Vina and Johan. It's been very positive. So I am general a positive and optimistic guy, and I think personally that's better to be that and be too pessimistic, because I think it's very difficult to achieve anything or achieve anything big or do things that was not possible before if you're not optimistic. Of course, I also say okay, realistic, and I also know what good looks like, and also know how can you say, the 3 teams you just mentioned, that they are ahead of us right now. So I know how we should look to get there, but let's take one step at a time.
Finish your section with George, please.
Hi Thomas,
Hi.
welcome to Tottenham. Just one from me. What are your kind of first memories of Tottenham kind of growing up? I think you might have been 10 or 11 when Spurs won the UEFA Cup in 84.
Yeah. That was probably too early for me in '84. It was more, 84, yeah. I think what I remember for that summer was more the Euros with Denmark. I was in it for the first time, so with all due respect. I think where it really picked up was it the League Cup we won in, I can't remember the year, but with Allan Nielsen, the Danish player. Didn't he play? He was
99?
Huh?
99?
Yeah, 99, yeah. So I remember that. So that's probably the strongest memory.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there and move on to the embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. Jerry, if you want to start us on.
One of Ange Postecoglou's last statements on the final day of the season was that to go into the Champions League and for everything, Tottenham definitely needed more experienced players at that level in the squad. You feel there's still room for more to come in? You feel confident that more can come?
I think it's different. There's no doubt that if you want to compete in all tournaments, you need a competitive squad, a robust squad. I think that's important. I think there's a lot of competitive players in the squad already, and I think it's an exciting squad. I'm excited about. There's no doubt that the club, of course, is in the market and looking. What will happen? Again, I would like to speak about it if a player comes in the building, and not about rumours and everything else. But of course, we need a good squad.
And it's a big squad. Will it take some organisation to maybe trim it, or to pick the players, the squad you need for different competitions, Europe?
Yeah, no, I think it's always a balance, that squad size, how big, how small. Should it be to make sure we can compete in all competitions, and of course, first and foremost, I know Tottenham, I know the players, I've seen a lot, but I need to know them, one to one. I need to train them. I'm getting input every single day about them that give me a little bit more knowledge. But no doubt that if you want to compete, you need to be able to use the squad good enough.
Last season, obviously, injuries were quite a big thing in terms of having Tottenham.
So injuries? Yeah.
The club deal with that. How do you go about sort of addressing that this season so it's not so much of an issue?
I think no doubt that available fit squad, or close to 100% availability, which we know is difficult because I think there's a lot of talk also about the amount of games the players are playing and the tempo in the games are going up and the intensity is going up. So that of course take hard on the players, or it's hard on the players. But hopefully the way we train, building layers and building robustness into the players is going to be a big part of and how we can make the players more available throughout the season. Hopefully we can make good decisions, and there'll be that little bit of feeling sometimes with knowledge and numbers and all that about when to rotate and when to rest. I think is a big thing as well. But yeah, we know that availability is crucial for us having success.
Daniel has been quite forward recently in terms of saying the club wants to be winning the Premier League and the Champions League. I guess, how realistic do you think that is, and how far away is the club from competing on that sort of level?
First and foremost, I share his ambitions for the club. I think a club of the size, the stadium, training ground, everything should have that ambition. How far away we are, probably very difficult to say, but I think we should thrive for it and go for it. There's no doubt about that. That's need to be the aim for the future. What are the odds for us winning the Premier League this year? Some of you must know that. Come on, guys. You don't gamble. Okay, I'm not allowed to either. But you know who will be the favorites. So, but you need to be prepared. I'll ask questions the other way just to let you know. That's part of the game. So I think we're probably not the favorites this season. Probably at least 3 teams that we just mentioned before, and others are ahead of us. But we will do what we can to build a very strong and very competitive team.
And last one, you obviously signed Enquiries, and in terms of some of the other players being linked, it seems like there's maybe a Premier League focus. Is that something that's important to you, and is that like an advantage that you see a significant signing players already used to the league?
I think it's a plus if they have Premier League experience. I don't think it's the most important for me when I look at a player. I think it's a good player. How's the abilities of the player? I think that's the most important. If it's a very, very good player, I don't think there's any problem playing in the Premier League. I know it's very intense. I know it's very physical, but I don't think it's any problem for any player to play here. Of course, there can be times in careers and where they are and all that. So it's a plus, but it's not the only area we're looking into.
Right, Thomas. Maybe take you back to Sonny. Has he earned the right with what the length of time, what he's achieved at Tottenham and now getting that trophy, that if there does come a point, whether it be this summer, whether it be January, whenever, has he earned the right to make his own decision on his future now? Do you think if he comes to you at any stage and says, I think the time's right, would you respect that maybe he's earned that right now?
I think it's always tricky situations like that if that happens. Right now I have a player that is fully committed and training well and will play tomorrow. That will always, I'm not talking about Sonny, I'm talking about in general. If a player has been long at one club, then it will always be a decision for the club to take, of course. And of course the head coach with the guys who's in charge, and this case will be with Daniel and Johan, because there's something in it. If someone wants to leave at a certain stage, then there could be something like that. But the beauty of this is the club always will decide it in the end, of course. So.
I appreciate you saying he's playing tomorrow, but Harry Kane played a pre-season and actually ended up leaving sort of the day almost before the season started and was the last manager. Would you want to avoid any similar scenario of someone going that way with Sonny?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost he's here now. I'm not worried too much about it. Let's take that 5-6 weeks down the line. Probably would be a question I'll get the next following week, so I'll practice my answers. But right now he's here.
And just last one, you talked about competing on all fronts. This squad, for different reasons, couldn't cope with Europa League and Premier League last season. How do you make it cope with Champions League and Premier League when the Champions League is more brutal than Europa League?
Very good question. Hopefully, will we in this pre-season build a robustness that make the players more robust to compete on all four fronts. Also, make sure we rotate enough in squad. I think those are the two biggest things. But one thing is the aim. Next thing is to prove it. That's why it's such a nice press conference to have here. Everything is possible. So, like with everything, we need to prove it.
Do you think we were doing something wrong last year with all the injuries?
I think it's always difficult for me to look into what happened before me. Of course, we try to look into it and speak to people that were there last year and try to learn from it. For me, if there were mistakes, and that's another thing, I will definitely make some mistakes. I think that we need to learn from that. So we need to learn from last season. I have some ideas of what I think we can improve and do better, and it should be possible to improve it.
Have you been able to have a conversation with Ange?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Can I just ask? Did you go? How hard did you go after Brian Mbeumo? You're linked with him, and you obviously know him better than anyone. And it looks like he's just got to Manchester United.
I'll follow up on the question earlier. I'll like to speak about players that are here at Tottenham. Brian, of course, is a fantastic player. I've been with him for 5 years, and yeah, I think he deserved the move, no matter where he goes. And that's a player I wish all the best when you've been with a player for so long.
Dave.
Hi.
Do you think it's an unusual situation that you find yourself in, given the fact that Spurs have just won a trophy and the Saturday manager made a change?
Yeah. I haven't thought about it in that way. I just come in, look at it as an opportunity that I'm really super excited about and see lots of opportunity in.
I just wonder whether you talked about the honeymoon period, whether that must put a strain on the honeymoon period, makes it potentially shorter, given the success that eventually came last season.
I think the honeymoon is the 5-6 weeks of preseason. Then it's reality. No matter if we won last season or not. So yeah, 5-6 weeks where you can do a lot of good stuff, and then it's reality. And looking forward to that.
And just the last one for me. You successfully harnessed that kind of underdog spirit, let's say, at Brentford. Not stopping Hounslow or all that, this kind of thing. Are you kind of preparing to change your rhetoric now you're a big club?
I think of course it's natural. Tottenham is a huge club. It's a club where we need to compete, as I said, in a lot of different competitions. So yeah, definitely can use that one.
Tom Barkley.
Hi Thomas. Fans listen to you speak about Sonny and Romero. Well, it's actually him definitely staying. If Romero were to leave, do you think he would need to be replaced by a player of stature?
Yeah, but I think it's it's again like a theory. Right now he's here, and that's what I'm focusing on. As long as players are here, I'm training them, I'm playing with them, and you know, he's definitely here and he's very committed. And I know we're looking forward to the season.
You've obviously got Dominic Solanke, you've got other players who can play centre forward, wide players able to play there as well. Do you feel like you need to strengthen that particular position, or do you feel like you've got the adequate firepower?
I think the front 3-4, depending on if you play with a 10, and a front 3. I think with Dominic up there, I think Richarlison is a good striker. I know he's been struggling a little bit with injuries. I think he was having a strong end to the season and was very important for the team to win the Europa League trophy. And Brennan Kulusevski, I know he's out for a little bit while, but he's still there. Madison, Odegaard, Matistel, and now Kudus. I think that's a strong, creative front line, and I'm 100% sure we'll score a lot of goals.
Just finally on Kulusevski, I know you said it's a bit longer. Are you getting the sense that he might be fit at all for the first few months, or it could be a while?
It could be. You know, I don't like to put a timeline on it, but it's not. Let me put it this way: he's not ready for the first game of the season. Hi. Hopefully, that's the plan. I think it's like the perfect middle question. So clear principles, all phases that you hopefully will see. How can I say, especially how we defend, but also how we attack. And I want to play brave, aggressive, and attacking football. And I'm convinced we'll score a lot of goals. But we need to be able to defend also if we want to win enough football matches. I haven't seen one single team having success without being able to defend. That's not said that we don't want to attack. So we need to be brave, very brave. Yeah, a nice mixture, and we will pragmatic sometimes where we need to be. But if you no, that's a good question. Right now, we're focusing on the first game of the season. That is a smaller team from Paris in the Super Cup. It's pretty good. I try to win that one, but we have 4 weeks to get there, something like that. And then I would like to compete in all 4 tournaments, and there will be one game at a time. It's too far ahead for me. But when you compete, you also would like to take the ultimate prize. Thank you.
Oliver, and finish with Rachel, please.
Hi.
Spurs have one of the worst set piece records defensively in the league last season. Brentford the best. Is fixing that one of your sort of priorities, and how important is it to sort of get that knocked down during the season?
Yeah, no doubt. I think set pieces is very important. As I said, that's another phase of a football match you need to nail if you would like to win it. And yes, one thing was Brentford. If you look, not last season but 2 years ago, City, Arsenal, so good offensively and defensively. Gave almost nothing away defensively and scored like more than 20 goals on set pieces. So it's a key thing. If you want to be a good team, you need to be good in all phases. So yes, that's also an area that we will try to improve.
You mentioned close to that next level. Is goal scoring sort of the main thing that you want to improve in that?
From him or?
From him, yeah.
I think the first season in West Ham he had a very good record in terms of goals and assists. I think everyone is involved. affected if a team is not performing top for various reasons. So last year, for whatever reason, West Ham struggled a little bit. So maybe it was difficult for him to produce the same numbers. But yeah, I think Kudus is a very good offensive player. So I think he can score goals and create goals, and that's what we will work on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, but first and foremost, Fleming is a fantastic football coach. Probably one of the best I've ever met in the game. His knowledge of the game is huge. No, it's just good references. We saw a lot of the same in the player, and it was just to know about his personality. That was the main bit.
Rachel, to finish, please.
Hi.
Just a few questions on behalf of your Korean fans, Spurs. You're heading to Hong Kong and Korea this pre-season. Are you looking forward to your first trip with Spurs and seeing the impact Tottenham has over there?
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to that trip massively. That'll be a great experience. So I haven't been to Hong Kong or South Korea myself, so I'm looking forward to it.
Just one last one as well. You've got your youngster another Korean player. You spent some time at QPR last season. Have you seen enough of him yet to kind of see him in your plans, or would you be looking for another loan?
That again, I think I need to I need to see the players a few more weeks before I take any decision on anything. I think Yang have done fine in the first weeks. As I said, I learn a lot about them. I have an idea, but it's about learning every single day.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.